Thank you for listening to the 39th Street Church of Christ Daily Devotional. The devotional today is Blind by Jack Williams. Most people, whenever they think of something that would be horrible, it's blindness. You know, my mother had macular degeneration, and it was hard to see her, that she could walk into a room and she could go through my sister's house where she lived just because she knew the path. But if she got away, it was hard. She didn't know what was around, what was there. Was there a step to go over? Was there a hole there? Was there something in the way? You know, blindness is terrible. In the book of Ephesians, the 4th chapter, the Apostle Paul warns of a lifestyle that nobody should be involved in. In verse 17, he says, "Now this I say, therefore, and testify in the Lord, that ye henceforth walk not as other Gentiles walk, the vanity of their mind, having your understanding darkened, alienated from the life of God." You look at that and you think, that is a terrible life. That's somebody blundering about. They don't realize the pit of sin that they're going to fall in. They don't realize the hindrances that are before them. They just go through doing whatever they will. The end result of such a life, you go on down to verse 19, it says they become past feeling, giving themselves over to lasciviousness, that is a license to do anything, to work all uncleanness with greediness. How does a person get that way? Go back to verse 18. He says, having your understanding darkened, being alienated from the life of God through the ignorance that is in them because of the blindness of their heart. You see, Proverbs, the 4th chapter, we talked about that last Sunday, that out of it are the issues of life. But if my heart is blinded, I'm not going to see anything wrong with walking as the other Gentiles, as those others of us walk. Just walk like they do. And then eventually I'll get to where I'm past feeling and nothing really matters. I can do anything I want. The blindness that can come upon us as children of God, we can see with our eyes, but really, what really guides us, being our heart, is blinded. And it's the god of this world that will blind us. So we make a choice in this life. You know, I know one lady who is going to have cataract surgery in the near future. And she'll tell you about her vision, you know, how that she just can't see. You know, things are distorted. It's kind of the way the world gets with the blindness of the heart. Things are not as they should be. Can't see the little things, but the little things matter. And so she's going to have her eyes fixed. It's going to be a good thing. She'll then realize a lot of times what she's been missing. I remember another lady, her name was Virginia, but we won't dwell on that. But she had cataract surgery, and afterwards she apologized to about everybody she could that had come to her house because she realized what she had been missing. She said, I thought my house was clean, but there was dust everywhere. Well, sometimes we think everything is okay. Spiritually, that's serious. If it's just dust in your house, don't worry about it. But if it is spiritual matters that I've been blinded to, I need to make sure that I open my heart. We find that the Word itself is that which can, Paul prayed, that it might have free course in the hearts of others. The reason being, it is that Word, Psalm 119 and verse 11, which brings us, he'll say in another part in Psalm 119, brings us a lamp under our feet and light under our way. But it is then that heart is changed, that I won't go into sin anymore. You see, my spiritual eyes are opened. I see what it does, and I want no part of it. We need to look at Ephesians 4 and realize, you know, here is a church that he was writing, commending for their life of faith, their love of the brethren, the life that they live. But he says, you need to make sure. Don't fall back and walk like everybody else does. Be different. He goes on in that same context. And he says in verse 20, ye have not so learned Christ. In other words, here's who you are. Whenever you and I engage in things that ought not to be, that are actually in the realm of lasciviousness and uncleanness and greediness, we need to back up and say, that's not what I learned. And we need to open our spiritual eyes and see again. Don't be blinded by the world, but be enlightened by the Word. It's our choice. We begin that life, as the Ephesians are told, in Christ. All spiritual blessings in heavenly places are found in Christ. And whenever we are baptized into Christ, Galatians 3:26 and 27, we have a great blessing. Being children of God, we have the opportunity to shine as lights to this world. We're not like them anymore. We're not like the other Gentiles because we've not learned such a life in Christ.
Thank you for taking the time to watch this short devotional. We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you'll be notified of other devotionals that will be forthcoming. Also, we encourage you to join us online live as we stream our services at each service time. More information can be found on our website at the link below. Thank you.